Hello and welcome to the last part of the behind the scenes of the Steve's Factory Manager trailer. This part we're going to go through the Monopoly game. In the first part I went through the Videomatic, technical stuff that we used with the editing and stuff. The second one was the whole build apart from the Monopoly game, and now we're doing the Monopoly game. The reason why it's split up in a separate video is because it's so big. It's 600 commands. So we're not going to go through every single command. We're going to start with playing the Monopoly game a bit, showing the features of it. Then we're going to go into, well, how some of its different parts work, and then maybe go and take a look at some of the commands. We're not going to go through all of them. So, should we start playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. I'm going to be the pick. So, first of all, we have, a button here in the sign. Anyone wants to press on the button? There you go. Now it's starting, and it's waiting, and it's making sure that we have at least two players, and that all of the players actually stand on their pressure plates. And we all got armor showing that, and we got some starting gold. And the signs were updated using sign updaters, so we can, if we press a button here and stand on the pressure plate there, we will forfeit, and then we will get our items back that we lost, or well, lost it. It took them for us for a while.
You temporarily saved it in the chest behind the whole thing.
No, it's done before. So, whose turn is it?
That's my turn.
So what we do here is basically press the roll a dice button there, and then that specific piece is going to move. So you want to buy that thingy?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. So then Dutchy drops the gold here and presses, where's the buy property? That's there. And it's going to take the gold. If you pay too much, it's going to leave some gold behind, and it places a turtle here to mark that, he owns the whatever. This one, they don't have names. And here you can select them, but that's for buying houses. Oh, did you want to buy a house? No?
No.
What rules are we playing with? Are you allowed to buy houses right away?
Maybe one complete the circle before.
Okay, yeah, okay. There's actually nothing detected. There are a few things that aren't being checked. For instance, whether you have a full set of colors here before you buy a house. You can buy a house right away if you want to. So, do you want to buy that?
Yeah.
And as you can see, these grey dots here mark whose turn it is, as well as up there. And you can also see that the diamond chest there is grey, because that's not a part of the game.
Double.
Yep, so I rolled doubles, and it's going to show that in blue there. I got on nothing here, so that's a bit boring, so I can just roll again. And if you roll doubles 3 times in a row, you will actually get be sent to jail like that. And that was very uneventful. Yeah, and then you just press enter, and it's going to go black, and then change to the next person's turn. Yep. Yeah, I got on 2 different locations, both completely useless.
Yeah.
And end turn, and it's going to switch. So it's quite easy to see whose turn it is by these dots here. And that's done using camouflage.
Okay, I'm just visiting.
Yeah, okay. Otherwise, you would be standing here inside the actual. Yeah. So if we take a look here, we can actually see that these are blockades and cable camouflage. Cable camouflage to change their appearance, and blockades to move them around. Hopefully, something better will happen this time. Come on, something at least.
Well, yeah. John.
So how much is that?
22.
22. Oh, that's that. Yeah, pay by property. There you go. Awesome. And then end turn, like that. Oh, a chance card.
Oh, chance
So
card.
it dropped a book there, and what does it say?
I have to pay my bacon bills.
Can I see it? Show the camera. I didn't get it. Oh, there it is. So, pay your bacon bill, 5 gold, and then Dutchie dropped 5 gold and press the pay chance button. And if you don't do that, you can't end your turn. And then that's why we have these, so you can throw the chance cards away.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I should pay more attention.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
yeah. I was removing the minimap. I had a minimap up in the corner, and then you stopped on my street, but I didn't realize. Shit. Okay, so.
Still good. I don't know.
No, well, I missed it, so I'm not allowed to get any money from you. 26. Yeah. That's. I'm going to buy it. So I dropped a stack, so then it will just leave everything else behind like that. Why is it moving things up there? Right. End turn. Yeah, we'll probably see how the transaction of money works later. It's quite simple. Should have been paying more attention. You all get all the chance cards. So,
Oh, I have to pay 5 gold for the hospital.
for the hospital. Yeah.
Good chance cards you got.
Yeah. Well, there are chance cards after all.
Yeah.
And your turn.
Let's see.
If you want to buy it, it's 30 gold.
30 gold.
There you go. And as you can see, when it's being bought, the piece is actually being removed to be able to clone it and place it. That's how the placement of houses works.
Oops.
Oh, did you roll for me? Oh, well, never mind. Never mind. I'll buy this. 30 gold. There you go. And I end my turn. Thank you.
Oh, double again.
Nice.
5
And now he will pass go, and that will yield some
Yay.
Some gold.
Yep. And nothing, but you roll doubles. That's where I ended up when I rolled doubles. Well, that's your own, so.
So, yeah.
A goal for you. And
And
nothing
nothing.
else. And your turn. Yay! I rolled doubles.
Double ones.
Stop.
So,
Oh, yeah, unfortunate.
hint, hint. Alright, you
I
press the
never had a
button.
time
Okay, so,
that
so
she was just faster than me.
yeah, so, well, aren't just the player owning the place supposed to enforce rent? So you can
No.
press enforce rent here, and what it's going to do is that it's going to move gold up here, showing you how much gold it costs to, well, basically
7.
end up on a spot, and this is without any houses, and these are actually houses. So it starts with a butler, and then you upgrade it to carpenter, centrifuge, moistener, and then a still. So instead of adding more and more houses, then we would have to stack them. We have different forestry machines, and here are the upgrade costs for those. So these are computer craft monitors, but they never change. So the logic is still Steve's Factory Manager. So 7 gold, you said, and this is actually one of the few things that are manual. But it's a board game after all, and in board games you Well, you usually have to interact with the other players, unfortunately.
It's still your turn.
Oh, right, it's still my turn. So, roll dice. And then it removes all the gold, because somebody moved or ended the turn. And there you go, I got some gold back. And yeah, that was a lovely turn. No? Nothing?
You should end it.
Alright. There you go. We could go with the rule that if you own at least 2 from the same color, you can start buy houses just to show how houses works and such. So
2.
yeah, so if you own at least 2 from the same color, then
Okay.
yeah, just
Okay.
to speed it up a bit. Because as mentioned, that there's no actually check for that. So if you want to, you can do the normal rules that you have to have all in the same color, or you can do that. You can buy houses whenever. And yeah, there you go. You guys paid each other. Well, Corey paid Dutchy, and it's my turn.
Yeah.
And another thing that's not that we never actually implemented, because when we worked on this, we worked for quite intense in the beginning for a week or 2 or whatever, and then we pretty much stopped for quite some time, and then we just finished it up. So 2 gold for you, which meant that we excluded some of the features that wouldn't be shown anyway. So you trading, if you want to trade like properties and so on with each other, you will have to do it manually. So you give gold to someone and then you just replace the icon there. So you will have to get it using creative mode or whatever. Oh, nice. Okay, so let's see. So 22 gold, so I want to buy that. And since we went with the rule that you're allowed to buy houses when you have at least 2, that's what I'm going to do. So what I do is, how much for a house? 4. Okay.
4.
I'm going to buy a house on both of these. So I mark that one, then I drop the gold, and then I press buy a house. Now I would put a house down here, and I'm going to buy another house on the other one. And just for the, yeah, I'm going to let's pay chance.
I think I'm in the trailer. I accidentally bought a house on metabase's property.
Yeah, yeah. So you can.
So there's a bug.
Yeah, on the trailer we had 2 houses actually. So there you go. So it upgraded this one because I bought one more, so I paid in the second price here, and so it's not like exactly Monopoly. The board is different, and some of the rules are a bit different. Here the cost increases for each you buy, rather than which part of the board you're at. And if you want to deselect the lamp because you think it's annoying, then you can step on the ones in the corner, and that's my turn. So now if somebody would go on any of those 2, you would use any of the values up there rather than the one of the white wool. And now you own at least 2, so if you want to, you can buy houses according to our in-house rules. Let's see if we can get someone into jail. Well, we can't really get anyone there, but see how that works. So it's your turn, Corey. Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay, so now the same thing goes on there, but now since you had these...
21.
Is it the carpenter you had?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 21 rather than just 4. Yeah.
Yay.
Right. And your turn, maybe? Is it my turn? Yes.
Yes.
I was almost getting into yellow there.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's buy this. I'm not sure if this is the best tactics here, but whatever.
This is
Because I have almost nothing, no gold left. Let's buy houses here.
I have it's not going very well for me this round.
Let's buy one of the other one as well. So obviously I'm leaving gold here behind, but it's a board game, so you can always cheat by stealing it from each other. So there you go. I have to inform you guys. Yeah, I have 7 gold ingots left. That's the only thing I have. But I have some nice properties, but that won't help me if I have to pay you. So end a turn.
Let's see.
Hang on a sec. Why do you have a harassment suit?
Oh, I accidentally put stuff in my home.
Fine. So how much gold do you guys have?
64 plus 50.
I have a stack and 15.
Ah, come on! Both of you 1 or 2 steps away.
Okay. You ate some trail mix. Advance to go and receive 20 gold.
Yeah, cool. So as you can see, the piece got moved here because, well, Gory had some, well, the refinery ate some trail mix, which made it go very fast. So there you go. And as you always get 20 gold when you get to go, so that's what just happened. Right. So, and your turn. It's my turn.
Yeah.
Well, I can't afford that. 40 gold. Oh, that's a bit steep. End turn. Well, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
Ooh.
Oh. Hang on a sec now. 15.
There you go.
Thank you. I tripled my savings. And that would be 2 gold. Yep. So as you might see, the different colors actually give different numbers here. That's why these are dynamic, whereas these are static. So these always have the same here, whereas those update depending on where the piece is. So it's my turn.
Yes, as in the real Monopoly game, they have different costs.
Yeah. But the buy thing is a bit different compared to the real Monopoly game, because then it depends on which side of the board you are rather than which house you buy. So on the first one it's like 1 unit, and the second one 2 units, and so on. And it doesn't matter how many houses you already have. So some things are different. We don't have any train station either, and the board size is a bit different. But yeah. And that would be 7.
7 gold.
Lucky for me that I didn't end up there. Now I actually have 42 with the passing go and all.
Oh.
3 gold. Right?
3. Yeah.
So yeah, this game is best played in creative mode, or
Yeah.
flying at least. So obviously you can cheat then, but you will have to trust each other. It's a board game after all. Or you could be in like adventure mode or something. No, not adventure mode, but survival mode. And yeah, okay, I'm going to buy that just for the lols. We have one each, and then use like jetpacks or whatever, or some other flying stuff. There you go.
Actually, it's not going very well for me. It's around. I have 2 houses, and I step on yours or the chance got, or empty ones all the time.
That is your turn. So in the trailer, nobody actually flew at all, just to keep people in the middle, and
Yeah.
that gets a bit cramped because you can be in the way. You don't want to stand on the board when the piece is moving because then it gets detached, and you don't want to pick up others' gold and so on. So it works best if you just fly around. Either in creative mode if you trust each other, or using some other means of flying. I think this must be the first time we actually play properly, to be honest. Have you played it this far any time before?
No, I don't think so.
We just built and tested. So you roll
Yeah.
doubles.
Yeah.
Oh, one from me.
No, one more.
Do you want to buy it?
Yeah, I don't have any. Probably say I won't buy it. 26.
There you go.
Double again.
Yep. Yeah, let's just buy everything.
Spend your money.
Yep. There you go, and then roll again. Yeah, let's just buy everything. Oh, can I actually afford that one? Yeah, I can afford it. I have 18 gold, it costs 18. So now I'm completely... if I have to buy, pay 1 single gold, then I'm out. So buy the property, and there we go, and turn. I'm in trouble, trouble.
There you go.
Yeah, but then we can see, take a look in forfeiting.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
going
yeah.
bankrupt. That's your own. I'm scared now because I have to move soon.
Yeah.
And I mean, I own most of the things on that side, but still, you own 2 of them.
Yeah.
Landing on one of them is enough.
I must buy it.
Oh, that's you don't own 2 there. So
I own 3 in total in different colors.
yeah. Oh, you only own 3, right?
Yeah.
It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Come on, come on!
See how it goes.
Ah, this is not looking good. Oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But I can't buy that one. I'm missing 26 gold. Chance card?
Yeah, I've won a beauty contest.
Cool. And as you saw, some gold appeared in the middle. And turn, maybe. Some gold for you.
Yeah. Right. It's your turn.
Oh, right.
Ooh.
This could be it. This could be it. I got goal. I didn't have to pay goal. Whew. Yeah. I don't know. We should probably just play a few more runs and just go through how things works instead. Whew, that was So I 5 goal now. That could have been it for me.
Yeah. What did they say there, Carl?
Alright, I used the duplication glitch. So yeah.
Cheaty.
Yeah, I was in trouble, so I cheated a bit.
Let's see.
Thingy.
And end the turn.
Double again.
You guys just pay each other.
Yeah. It's not much either.
Oh. And the turn. And let's roll once again each, and then we call it a, because yeah, we haven't seen going bankrupt and so on, but whatever.
No.
Well, I can go bankrupt now. Yeah, I got some gold for passing go, but then I feel like this is a well, lost game for me, so I'll end my turn, and then I go in here, for instance. Go in there and press to forfeit or go bankrupt. And then I get all my stuff back, and I'm not in the game anymore, so now it will just skip me. And my stuff will still be here in the game, and that's also one thing that is not implemented. So you could either just leave them there, my pieces there, it's not going to move, or you could give them to other people or remove them. And if you want to remove them, you just get the correct carpet and places it there. So there are some things like that that haven't been implemented, and yeah, it's still a very advanced system, so we thought that it was enough. And so let's see who wins. The one with the most gold now between you two.
Let's see.
And you can end your turn. End your turn to show that it's not going to get turn into my turn. And there you go. So it just flips between the ones that are actually in the game.
Yeah.
So how much gold did you guys have?
I have 1 stack and 31.
Ooh, I have 1 stack and 28.
Oh, okay. So that you won this game. So obviously you can still continue playing and so on. So you guys could go and hand back your suits, and the game will be over. And then, as you just saw, we get our stuff back. And there you go. Now this has been reset. The board is still here, so you can take a look at it. The next time you start, it's going to get reset. And let's go through a few different things that we have here. We can talk about the jail first. It's quite simple. We never got to that point. So if you roll doubles 3 times in a row, or you actually land here, then you get to one of these blocks here. Your piece will be there instead. And these are actually quite complex. It's block gates, cable camouflage, and redstone emitters. So these white walls here will actually... I can't recall. Do they go black right away, or do they go towards... I think they go black right away, and then they gradually go back to white. I can't actually recall.
That's it, I think.
And then when that happens, you are moved here. Or you could... Well, you get 1 roll each time, and if you roll doubles, you're allowed to go out, or you could pay to get out. I can't actually recall how much that costs. Was it 15?
Something like that.
So yeah, we didn't get the chance to show that, but that's in there as well. So we have quite a few things in here, not everything as you've also seen. So let's take a look down here. I almost broke the things here. So here's 4 rapid item valves that are being used to interact with the money. Then we have a lot of logic here. Here we have connections to the starting setup. So here you can see all the different suits. These chests will store your items, and then it will move it back. If you have an armor on, none of us had that, it's going to put your armor on this armor stand temporarily, and then you get it back. So this chest here is holding, like replacing your suit. So it's basically moving your suit to this chest here, and then it moves the armor stand onto you, and then it moves from the chest to the armor stand, and then when you get back your own suit, it does the same thing. And then puts your stuff here and gives you gold, and the gold basically comes from this creator supplier, which supplies the whole game with stuff. And yeah, so that's the starting part here. I think we can, yeah, here's the manager. 641 commands, took a second to actually load. We can talk about the dice, I think.
Okay.
The dice here, let's take a look. Can we? No, that's not connected, so we can go there. Let's break a hole in the wall without destroying anything. Yeah, so don't destroy these blocks because these are cable camouflages. Yep. So if we take a look here, what we can see is this kind of loop here for both of these dice, and then we also have connected around here with the cable camouflages to indicate when you get doubles. There are 3 other colors. When you get doubles is the blue one that we saw. There's a red one when you actually go to Yale for rolling doubles, or for actually landing on going to Yale. And yeah, right, there you go. So now we have decamouflaged everything like that. Yeah. And there's white, I think, that is being used when you get out of Yale, if you roll doubles to get out, and I think it goes white. So we basically use different railcraft blocks to indicate that. But we didn't have camouflage blocks when we built the actual dice part. So this is using block gauge, so it's replacing wool. So this is just normal wool. And the way it works is that we loop around like this, so we get them in a specific order. So we get first that one, then that one, then that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one, and we do the same thing here. So that's why we have this loop and not just everything connected right away. That is. And then we have the magic goes here. So these levers here are actually what's making the different numbers. We could have a lot of special cases, like how does it look for when it's 1? Then you set it like this, 2, 3, and so on. But we did a bit like you do with the 7-segmented display, if you know what that is. We basically have a pattern here showing which parts of it that are actually going to be lit up. So this is if you roll a 1, this sequence here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 different receivers. And by having a lever here that is on, we indicate that the last bit, or the last pixel, or the last part, whatever, is going to be on, whereas the other ones are going to be off. And as you can see, which is the last one? Well, we follow this loop around, and the last one is the one in the middle, and that seems correct, right? It's the one that we want, and then it just continues like that. The next 7 of these receivers, then we have it actually goes in the other order. Then we have the first and the fourth, which creates a 2. Then we have for the 3 we had the first and the fourth and the last one, and it just goes around like this. This 6 for the 6 we have well, all of them except the last one, so you don't get the one in the middle. So by doing it like this, we just loop like this, we can say, alright, if you got a 1, pick the 7 first receivers. Okay, we have the 7 first receivers, then we just map it, and that's kinda how it works. So if we take a look at it, I don't know exactly where that is.
I think it's in dice.
I'm just going to...
Yeah, it's in the dice in the display die, the bottom left.
Display that, yeah, here you go. I was just changing my settings. Right, so yeah, it has this eye map where all of those receivers are set. So it goes through there and it loops through the different eyes. So is valid number is checking if it's actually yeah, if we got to the second set of 7 receivers, if we have gotten to the third set of 7 receivers and so on, and if we have gotten to that part, we loop through the different the different receivers and maps them to the different eyes here in the die, and then we do that again for the second die. So that's how it places those, and that allows us to, I don't know, 10 commands or whatever it was, I can't recall. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 with the node. So 10 for the actual logic to place the whole die here. Yes, by using this receiver line to map that. So that's controlling the dice there, but that's only controlling the graphical part. The other part is controlled elsewhere, and it's using these 6 emitters. So we have one emitter with one with 1, one with 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then it just randomizes one of them. So it's using this factor manager internal random thing, so we don't have to loop through and just pick one depending on when you click the button or whatever. So that's that one.
We use a lot of these emitters to save data while we play and stuff.
Yeah, here we have some. If you have rolled the doubles, or I think how many doubles you have rolled actually. What kind of movement you are. Here's the player's turn, this is 4, which means it's actually the second player. So we have 0, 4, 8, and 12. Because we have that, we can increase it by 4 each time, but instead of just increase, we use forward setting, which means that when we are at 12, we're going to go to 16, which loops back and is actually 0, because you can't have 16. So then it just loops around like that. I think that is movement flag is if you're actually moving. Move status is what kind of part you are in. Getting chance if you're currently getting a chance card. So yeah, that's those. We can talk about the chance cards, I guess.
Yeah.
This set of pigs. So anyone care to explain why we're using pigs here?
Yeah, it's the barrels didn't work for some reason. Don't remember what.
Yeah, this shiny effect basically on the book. If you had that on a barrel, because the barrel is actually displaying the item, you can see that through the world. Basically, you can see that through blocks. So if you were up on the board, you can actually see the different books here. So that's one of the reasons it didn't work with the barrel, and the second reason is we don't have to see them anyways, because all of these look the same to us like that. And the third reason is we wanted a 1 slot inventory basically. So therefore we use the pigs. And the way this works, yeah, there you go, you can actually see the effect through there. And yeah, it doesn't matter how many blocks you have, you can still see through. So that's why. But here it's just fine with carpets, and then we can see more through that later. But the way we would do this is actually when you get a chance card, let's actually take a look in the manager. And can you recall where that one is? That would be on the movement, right? On movement, not to prison. Well, handle special, chance. Yeah, it's pretty much here. So what we want to do is, yeah, here exactly. Pick card. Yeah, okay. So we're going to do this twice. This thing here. Once we're going to do pick a card, and then give that to the player. So we output it on the top, and then we're going to do it again. And this time we're going to pick a card, and it's going to pick the same because here we randomizes which pig we want to use, right? We randomizes the pig, and that's the pig we want a card from. We pick the card, give it to the player, and done that. We pick a card, give it to a cash chest. That's the chest there, exactly. So it's going to put a card there as well, and then a 5-second delay, and then this is going to trigger more for that later. But after that has happened, we have removed one of the cards, right? So we want to refill that card, but it's going to trick you to know which card that was removed. So what we're going to do is that we're going to grab every single one of the old ones. so they are put in there. We're going to send that to the creator supplier, and then we're going to, from this creator supplier, we're going to grab all of these different books written by Dutchy, and then we have just marked them here. So these all contain different things, but we get one of each, and then we set them into the move them into the pigs again. And since they only contain one slot each, it's going to put one book in each of them. And since we're always doing it the same way, they're always going to contain different books. So this will always contain one of the same book. This will always contain the same book, and so on. But what we have here is this. So we give one to the player, and then we give the same to the chest. The reason is we want to execute what's going to happen with this book, but we don't want to do it right away. We don't want the player to have a chance to read a book. So therefore, after 5 seconds, this is going to be executed. It's going to pick up the book from the chest, and then it's going to, well, depending on if it's the first time or the second time, it's going to pick up the card, and the next time it's going to void it. And here it's going to execute what it is. So if it's one specific type of book, so it actually looks for these two books that you get 5 gold from, then it's going to execute that, and so on. So we use the pigs, randomize as a pig, take a book, give it to the player, take the same book after recreating all the books, putting that in the chest 5 seconds later, using these things for a delay. So this will turn on after 5 seconds. And the receiver will take that. Well, it will turn on right away and then turn off, and then the receiver is looking for when it goes low again, and then that will execute the chance card. So that's what it did. So the books yeah, go on.
It's a lot of things involved in such a simple thing that it's a chance card.
Yeah, chance card is quite simple. You get a card and then you read it and things happen. Well, usually you just move it to the piece yourselves, like when you play Monopoly normally. You get 5 gold, okay, I'll take 5 gold from the bank. But the way we have to do it is, well, first you have to get a chance card, and we store all of them in the pigs here, and then we have to match that and, well, tell you what you're gonna do. So yeah, we have a few advanced cards that we didn't see. We saw the go to go. We have actually one that is skip a turn as well, and if that happens, your color up there is going to turn red until it's your turn again, and then it's going to skip you, and then it goes gray again, so you can play next turn. And then we have move forward and pay, and that's pretty much it. Well,
and one that birthday. We have one that every player should give the person one code.
And since it's a board game, we don't like steal things from the others. Yeah, and that's actually the only thing that we don't do with Steve's Factory Manager, because it triggers this command block which says you should all give the current player 1 gold. That's the only thing we don't do with Steve's Factory Manager, and that's just saying something in chat. Yeah, Steve's Monopoly. You should all give the current player 1 gold. Everything else is controlled with this huge system, and well, that thing is triggered from there, so I guess it's a part of it anyways, but yeah. So, right, what about this whole line with barrels that we have here? That's a huge one.
Yeah, this is just prices for the different houses. Like the rent.
Yeah, the rent, exactly. So
and it copies one color over to the top there.
Yeah. So it finds which color you're at currently. Get the, well, 6 barrels with the gold in for that color. These down here don't do anything. That's just for us to see.
And above also to see what house it is.
The important part is just the cables and the barrels. The other things don't actually do anything. And then it moves that to the barrels on top, and then moves it back. One trick we had to use here is actually, let's see if we can find that in the manager. But since these barrels, they only give us 1 stack at a time, you can't actually remove 2 stacks in an instant. So what we do is actually that we remove up to 5 stacks, I think. So it tries to remove 1 stack at a time 5 times. So we can actually get, this is the most expensive thing, right? Yeah. That's alright. That's just 3 stacks, so it never goes over that. But we need to move more than 1 stack at least, otherwise it would just end up being 1 stack there. So let's see if we can find that. It's quite a weird trick with flow controls. Do you guys know where that is? That would be ownership, maybe? Yeah, rent. There we go. Here, yeah, we do it 4 times, where we only need to do it 3 times actually. So we have 2 flow commands connected to each other. One that is a split, and one is that is a connector. And well, each time we go into one of these, and the reason why I don't have, I should mention that, I mentioned that in the previous video as well. The reason why we don't have mouse overs until you actually turn it on manually is due to a bug in a development version that we're using that allows us to turn mouse over effects and buttons and whatever on and off that we saw in the first behind the scenes, but due to a bug the mouse effects are disabled by default. So yeah, so each time, well, when we reach this flow command on top, it's going to split the flow into 5 different ones. It's going to execute all of these, but then we just collect them into the same thing again, which means that since we have 4 connections here, we only actually need 3. It's going to run what's below this flow command 4 times. So we can get the prize, which is we're going to get anything from the barrel and place it back, but we're going to actually do it 4 times so we can get up to 4 stacks. So that's quite an interesting way of using 2 flow commands, just hook them together like that to increase the, well, the times things will happen afterwards. Right, so what else? What about these things here? Should we cover what these things are? These things are used for 2 different things, I think, if I can recall correctly. One is to reset, because if the buildings here disappear, one for ownership and one for well, which house you have, you don't know which color that is. So what you will have to do is well, map them to these basically. And since we have one blockade here, that's actually the trick always here. We have one blockade here for each position up there, even though we don't have anything here. That thing goes also with oops. That thing also goes for the lamps. So if we take a look under this black carpet here, we can actually don't we have a alright, we don't have a lamp.
No. But
we have an emitter that is controlling the lamp. So we have that there, even though, well, that power is not going to be used. The same thing goes for the corners here. That's why we have these pressure plates. We have that already. We have to have that. So everything that we have exists in every spot here. The receiver here, we have blockades under. Well, the chance cards, we have blockades under. We have emitters and so on. Receivers as well for this. By having it like that, that means that if we loop through like this, we loop around like this, where if we do that for both variables, and with both variables I mean one that contains which blockade you're on, and one that contains for instance the lamps, then when we reach the position where the blockade has, for instance, the turtle on it, it detects, oh right, there's a turtle here, then we know that the lamp that we're currently on would be this one, like at the same spot, due to the fact that we have a one-to-one mapping. Here we have one line of blockades, and here we have one lamp. Here we have one line of blockades. Here we have one lamp, and that does. Without that, we wouldn't have been able to do what we do, because then when you have a lamp selected here, how would we know which building that would correspond to? When we have a player here, how would we know that that corresponds to buying a property on that spot? We wouldn't. So it loops through and it does it simultaneously, so it maps them one-to-one. And that's like what we do here. So by mapping it one-to-one, we know that, alright, we have some pink wool there. That means that we're going to place pink wool here when we reset. And that's that. But it's also used for the rent, actually. So if you have placed both a building and a property marker, so you own it, but you have bought houses as well, then you don't know which color it is. So then we take a look here. Which color is it when it looks for the current piece? Where's the current piece? Well, maybe it's here. Well, there's no rent here or here. Oh, there's a orange carpet here. So then we take a look on the orange color here, the thing we just explained with the rent. So it maps it color-wise, and that's that. Cool. And that's also why we have like blockades here that aren't doing anything. This is for detecting like that. Then we have emitters, and that's also why we have the cables being detached up here in the
Corners.
in the corners in the ceiling. So it actually connects in the correct order. This is disconnected completely, so it won't form a loop, whereas the other corners are disconnected. Where is that? Slightly like this. So where is it? Here it is, like that. So we get them in the correct order. Otherwise, it would take a shortcut like that. So we wanted to go around like that, so it gets the correct orders like that, which is to get them in the same order always. Because otherwise, if we don't get the proper one-to-one mapping, we wouldn't be able to do this.
Yep. In the beginning, when we started it, it was pretty annoying to set it up because it was very hard.
Yeah, well, when we started building this Monopoly game, we didn't have the improved item. Well, what to call them?
Search function.
Yeah, well, search functions for
filters. And
yeah, for containers and stuff. We didn't have the search. We had a scroll to the left. You remember that old scroll? We didn't have the filters to select different coordinates and so on. And we had like 100 different stuff or whatever for that. Let's see now, actually, if I create a variable here, then type. Yeah, currently we have 796 containers connected to the system, which is quite a lot. So every receiver, every donation station, every block gate, every barrel, and so on. So we have 796 of those. It might be a bit tricky to find something unless we can search for it, which was a problem in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, and in the beginning we didn't have groups either, so we had like 90 commands on top of each other in the first spot while I was working on the groups. So we have a few more things to cover, I would think, and that would be, for instance, these things here. So one of these are for buying the houses, basically. Because usually in Monopoly, when you buy something of a specific color, it usually is that the two first are cheaper than the last one. Like these would cost 10 gold, and that 12 gold or something like that. But to keep it easier for us to implement, we said that a specific color has one specific price. And that's what we're doing here. So we say that, alright, blue costs 55. Well, we have said that it costs 10. So this is actually how much gold that is missing from 65. Which is just about one stack, basically. So if we combine, basically what we do when the user pays, we take from the rapid item valves, since otherwise, if we don't move it and just checks how much we have here, it would count it 4 times since we have 4 different rapid item valves. So we move it to this buffer chest. I think it's that chest. No, it's probably this chest. That chest, actually.
Maybe.
And then we get a specific amount of gold there. So maybe you paid 25 gold, for instance. And then what we want to do is check that the player paid enough. So if you want to buy a house, well, the property, the blue property, we will want to look for 65 gold in total. So then we look in the chest, 25 gold plus 55, and that's enough. That's over 65. Oh, 65 or over, which is totally fine. So these are sort of helping you to pay that constant cost of 65. So 65 minus 25, that's 40, so you need to supply 40 gold on your own. And then it removes that gold from the chest, and then anything that's left in the chest is moved back and put up there using the rapid item valves. And since this is just a short, well, a very thin layer, the black wool cover, it manages to place the items on top. And the same thing goes with houses. Yeah. But this one is actually a bit more advanced. It has to match the previous state there. This one just have to match with which color it finds up there, which doesn't actually have to use these colors here, because when you buy a property, we always know that there's a
Carpet.
carpet up there. Still carpet, and the same thing goes with the buildings. If we find a carpet there, this is a black carpet, it doesn't care about the color. If you find a black carpet there, then it takes the next thing in line. If you find a bottler, it takes the next thing in line. So it basically loops through here, tries to find one, and alright, I found the current one, so I should look for the next one. And then it uses the same trick here. 65 minus 61, that's 4 gold, so that's the cost of the first house, and then it just goes like that. So this time, these are not only for looks like that. These are actually being used to map them. So there's a lot of mapping. You try to map things so it can loop through things and so on, so we don't have to hard code everything, which would work, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for the big parts. And of course, there's a lot of logic,
so.
like just putting it all together. Like, all right, you roll the die. Well, now it's your turn. Now you should move. But now when you're moving, you're not allowed to roll again. And it's basically these guys that control that. You roll doubles 3 times in a row, move you to Yale, and if you're in Yale, we want to decrease that, look for money, and so on and so forth. Also, this thing here, yeah, if you need gold for a chance card, it's actually going to move gold inside this chest, and each time you pay something, it's going to remove it here. And when this is filled with something, it's not going to allow you to end your turn or roll the dice. And if I think, yeah, actually, when you reset the game, this chest is not going to get reset. So if something prevents you from actually rolling the dice, it could be that this chest has some gold in it still, and then you'll have to go down and remove it. Alright, this barrel is quite important. When we want to clone things, we do that for well, carpets, when we reset things, and when we match things here in places. When we want to place a bottler, how do we do that? Well, we take this bottler here, right, and then we move it to this barrel here. Then we move a bottler, a carpenter, or a whatever, I can't know. Bottler, well, what are these? Bottler, carpenter, and then what is the third one? A centrifuge, and a moistener still. So we move all of those to this barrel. Okay, so that's the first step. The second step is to move anything that we have left into the creator supplier, which basically destroys it. But then what's going to happen is the only thing that we had here from the start is the only thing that's going to fit there. So we will have 2 of those all of a sudden. So we basically cloned it. We got a second item of that. Then we can just move one of them back here, and then all of a sudden we are back in the current state, but the thing we want to place, we actually have in this barrel, and we have 1 item of that. Then we just move it to where we want it. And that's the same thing when we reset things. We find this carpet here, removes it, and then well, removes it up to the barrel there, and then adds 2 added the carpets there so we can replace it, and does that, all of that cloning and so on. And actually, in the trailer you can see when it fades out, so we show the whatnot, the like this, like we see here, and then the holes in the walls that we don't have now. And then you can actually see that these 2 sets of brown carpets are actually missing, and there are black carpets there. That's because we had a bug in the system where it forgot to add, forgot to try to add brown carpets into that barrels, which meant that brown carpets were impossible to clone, which meant that we got black carpets because that was our fallback color, which is why we get black carpets in between here. So that's actually something you can see in the trailer. There are a few mistakes like that in the trailer, but yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah, it works out.
Yeah, so there you go. This has been a ton of work. Anything else we're missing? Alright, yeah, here we have been testing things. We built the room larger than we actually needed. But
Yes.
this little system here actually helps us as well. It's super simple, it's not connected right now. But the chat command thingy that the camera could trigger, this is one of those. So when right after the last lap that the camera turned 3 times, I think, around the arena. It actually did turn 4 times around the arena when we recorded it, but then I cut one out because it took quite a long time. But
Yeah,
and it's quite easy to do because we flip back and forth between two different things, and the camera's always in place, so that's fine. But then it would trigger this, and what it did was just trigger these 3 command blocks, and we have basically the names of all the extras that helped us that you saw playing here, and then you just teleport it away, and that way we can actually make them disappear. And that's when the intercom said, "Oh right, don't worry about your friends; they were never real to begin with." And Gory Moon asked,
and then I
ran away. Yeah. So yeah, and we had a to-do list here to keep track of. Yeah, the invisible house to keep track of what we had left to do with this Monopoly game. So anything we forgot to mention? We haven't obviously gone into detail how every command works, but we've gone through how the major parts work and how all of that works with mappings and the dice mapping, and how we randomize a number, how Yale works, how these open up, how the rent works, and things like that. So yeah, so not everything. We're going to put this map up for download, so if you're interested, you can actually take a look on all the 600 commands. And if you want to, feel free to implement the missing features. It's going to be a lot of work, but if you really want to, then sure, go ahead, do that. So, for instance, forcing you to own all of these when on a street before buying. Another thing could be to implement that if you go bankrupt, you can actually sell the buildings to the other people can get it. Trading, you can implement trading, so that works properly, and so on. So there are features missing, and yeah, and if you want to, we give you permission to do so. But otherwise, you can download this and play it. Most of the things works. You just need to know about it. Some of these things aren't actually implemented. And yes, it is a board game, so you have to interact with people. So. So if you're not into that, then well, sorry. Right, that's pretty much that, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, but it comes together.
Yeah, took some time, and I think it's quite impressive in the end. Right, that's that. Goodbye.
Yep.
Bye.